For more on this, we go to John Sitilides, Foreign Policy Principal at Trilogy Advisors. John, nice to have you with us tonight. Respond to that South Korean representative. Do you think he's on the mark when he talks about what North Korea is really concerned about, considering Libya and Iraq, what happened there?
Well, the historical precedent is pretty clear. When you have weapons of mass destruction, you tend not to be invaded by external powers. And North Korea has clearly seen the precedent in Iraq, in Libya, and learned a very important lesson there. I think the question, though, Ed, going forward is, what are the other powers in the region going to be doing about this very dangerous situation as it continues to grow in intensity? And I think the larger consensus is that it is going to be up to China to exercise leverage and play the greatest role in looking to diffuse tensions in the region.
What is China's biggest fear?
Instability. It is terrified that it will lose control, that is, the Communist Party will lose control inside of China. It is very much concerned about the potential for a humanitarian refugee crisis in North Korea, with 26 million North Koreans spilling over into Chinese territory. It's also terrified, though, Ed, of military conflict. Remember, 1/3 of the global commerce annually traverses the South China Sea and the Pacific Rim region. China's economy, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, they're all absolutely dependent on stability in the Pacific Rim region.
And that's really Kim's knowledge of it as well, that he knows what's on his side, and he knows the concerns of the other countries. What will these sanctions do? What kind of an impact will they have? No country's had to put up with this.
It's very difficult to ascertain right now because we've never dealt with a government like North Korea's, where the elite, not just Kim Jong-un, but the military elite around him and those who help prop up that government in power, really have no regard for the well-being of their citizens. So you have 26 million North Koreans whose well-being is of no concern. As long as that lifestyle for the regime is upheld and they're able to protect their borders and sustain military control, I'm not sure how much they'll be caring about the people.
Do you think these sanctions are strict enough that they could cause some social unrest within North Korea and maybe Kim could lose his grip?
That's a very tough question to answer, Ed, because there's so rigid, the control over the information that gets to the North Korean people is so rigidly controlled in terms of internet, cellular phones and whatnot. If the people thought there was a better alternative, maybe you could see the kind of social unrest that could lead to the ouster of the Kim Jong-un regime. But as long as they don't know any better and technology is used to spy on the citizens, it's very tough to see where any type of ailment goes.
Russia and China came on board to make it unanimous after the United States softened the proposal on oil. So North Korea is still going to be able to function. What does this mean?
It's a matter of gradually escalating the pressure to a point where China, and very importantly, if you recall Xi Jinping at the Davos Forum back earlier in 2017, looked to position China as the new global leader of the international economic order, given the perception that Trump was going to be pulling the U.S. out of a number of international relationships and alliances. For China to be seen as a credible player at the United Nations, steps had to be taken, but they were not as severe as the U.S. and other parties thought would be necessary to begin to bring the regime to its knees. That's not happening, and I'm afraid it's not going to happen for quite some time.
John Sitilides, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it so much.